Well, hello there. It's another beautiful Sunday morning here in Arizona, where I'm at. I can't see a cloud in the sky. I was out there looking a few minutes ago, and so it seems like the monsoon has passed us by for now. And boy, there was quite a bit of rain for a while. Uh, there were a couple of times it was what used to be called a gully washer. So I hope nobody was in any gullies when it went by. Okay, but being Sunday, being the Sabbath, I'm feeling kind of upbeat today. I was reading some bad news on this thing, but it didn't really seem to bother me none. Because, you know, I've sat and I've listened and I've paid attention. And I'm a cynical person by nature. And it has gotten so, how do you tell the lies from the truth? I don't know. I give up trying to figure it out. That's like the old joke, how do you tell when a politician's lying? Well, his lips are moving. You know, and I made a comment the other day on one of these things, I think, about the modern day lawyers being the Sadducees and Pharisees out of the New Testament. Well, that's about true. Because, you know, them people back in them days, them Israelites, they were the Jews. Israel had fallen apart and 10 tribes had been hauled off someplace else. So there was only 2 left, so it was actually the Jews. Tribe of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin were the ones that were left over there when the Romans were ruling. Now, they lived under the law of Moses. Now, the law of Moses was their government. And so the Pharisees and the Sadducees were their politicians. That's just right out the way it is. That's like them people back there in Washington, D.C. If you get paying attention, the biggest share of them that's in office are lawyers. There's a couple of doctors, there's maybe a couple of MBAs mixed in there and that, but the biggest share of them are all lawyers. Now, seeing how the law of Moses was their religion back in the Roman days in Judea, and the Sadducees and Pharisees were the politicians. We get down to today, and the lawyers are the politicians. Oh, they're all politicians. You get to looking, the ambulance chasers are one breed of politician. You look at the ones that are out there looking at all these suits. Oh, they're after the baby powder causing all kinds of cancer for women. They're looking at, back a few years it was all about the cigarettes, killing people. They was lying about the tobacco companies have lied about the safety of cigarettes. Well, you know, all of that was a lie too, because when I was a little kid, back in the 40s, 1940s, I was born right at the end of World War II, just before it became the baby boomers. I was a little earlier. But anyway, my dad, he used to roll his own Bull Durham. Once in a while he had a tailor-made pack of Lucky Strikes when he had extra money, an extra few cents to buy the pack. And he used to roll one. He says, well, guess I'll put another nail in my coffin. And then they all called them coffin nails. Why? And there was a song that was popular in them days. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Puff, puff, puff it till you smoke yourself to death. Then when you meet St. Peter at the Golden Gate, you'll just say, St. Pete, you gotta wait, 'cause I gotta have another cigarette. Ha ha. See, nobody lied because everybody knew cigarettes would kill you. But the lawyers saw that as a big way to make big bucks. And they talked about for the schools and for the this, that, the other wonderful charitable thing that the government needed money for. Well, I don't know how many of them charitable things get any money out of all that, but I know a friend of mine still smoking. He's talking about cigarettes being a pack $10 a day, or $10 a pack. Well, that's a lot of money for cigarettes. They destroyed the tobacco business in the United States. Well, look at all them things that they've done about other stuff. That weed killer. Look at all the millions and billions of dollars. You know, in the clear back, years ago, they come out with X amount of billions of dollars for asbestos. Asbestos causing that lung disease. Well, that went on for a few years, and then there was about a 20-year drop-off. And now, a few months ago, I noticed there was a lot of new advertisements about there's billions of dollars been set aside for that mesothelioma, or whatever the heck they call it. Can't remember that word. Too big for my mind. But they got, so that asbestos is back up there making big bucks for the lawyers. Now you get all this suing doctors, suing this, suing the car companies, suing all these other things. Well, they advertise they get you $200,000, $300,000. Well, let's see, if they take their 33%, a third, or they take their 40%, or whatever it is they get, if they get you $200,000, by the time it's all done, you might get, well, let's say you get a $300,000, and they take 33%. You'll get $200,000. Now let's see, by the time the government gets through with you, state government, if you have to pay taxes on it, federal government, and that, you might wind up with $100,000. And see, that's a big scam. I get the biggest kick out of people. I'm sorry, I shouldn't feel that way. But I'm a religious man, and I don't really like all this telling stories. There's so many, what do you call them? They're used charlatans. Yeah, there's lots of charlatans. Now, I know it isn't fashionable to say anymore, but people used to talk about gypsies, tramps, and thieves. Well, Hitler pretty much killed most of the gypsies. There's still a few left around. But, tramps and thieves stuff, you get to looking around. There's a lot of them running around in fancy suits. It's not them people out there that's hungry, or that's, them poor people out there that'll walk into a store and light finger discount stuff, that shoplifting they call it. No, it's not them. The ones that make off with the big bucks are guys in big fancy suits, driving fancy cars, living in fancy houses or hotels, working in fancy offices. Shucks, a lot of them are right there on Wall Street, and a lot of them are right there, right around that Washington, D.C. area. Because, boy, there's lots of stuff to steal from that government. But that's all the people's money. Why? They're stealing my money back there. You know all them legislative thievery they got called taxes? You ought to check into that. Well, I go quit now, but I ask God to bless y'all. Have a good day. See you again.